So before we get started today, I wanted to apologize for the lack of content and the little hiatus that I took this month. As some of you may know, I'm a high school band director, and this month I took my band to District Assessment Concert Band Festival, where we got straight superiors across the board and earned the sweepstakes award. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy time for me, but for those of you who've watched Sound Euphonium, my life in the last month was literally a play-by-play of that anime, and I just fulfilled all of my dreams. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Prof Otaku, and welcome back to my channel for my March 2024 manga haul. We've got a ton of ongoing series, a highly anticipated volume 1 release, and also a holy grail pickup that I thought I'd never get in my collection. Stay tuned. As always, we're going to go by publisher, and let's first start off with Kodansha, ongoing series here, volume 14 of Blue Period. I thoroughly enjoy this manga. It is so educational, coming of age story about this boy who goes to art school, and it's just so introspective about fighting for your dreams and also the turmoil of just any sort of career path and the doubt and the anguish that goes into putting everything you have into what you love the most. So yes, Blue Period is one I highly recommend you take a look at. And last up from Kodansha is the highly anticipated volume 1 release, but I didn't just pick up one copy of it. No, not 2 copies of it. I picked up 3 copies of Initial D in the omnibus format. The content inside the omnibus and the omnibuses themselves don't have any difference to them. These are just all cover variants. This is the standard edition. This copy is the Crunchyroll variant that you can find on the Crunchyroll store. And this last copy is the Kinokuniya exclusive variant cover that also comes with a Shikishi board. Initial D has had a previous English run through TokyoPop. It never got completed, but now Kodansha has decided to release these in a physical omnibus oversized format. I am so thankful for them. I cannot wait to get started with this racing manga. It just seems right up my alley. I also love old school manga. This started serializing in the mid 90s, so I can't wait to dive into that older art style and just see what all the hype with this series is about. Let's quickly move through the Viz Media section. Nothing crazy or special here. We have Rainbow Days Volume 8, a shoujo series that I'm thoroughly enjoying with a cast of main characters that are boys, which is really interesting to see. We have 2 One Piece spin-offs here. We have One Piece Ace's Story, the manga, Volume 1. The artwork is done by Boichi, who is the same guy who does the artwork for Dr. Stone, which is awesome. We also have One Piece, it's a Sanji spin-off, and this is done by the same duo who does Food Wars, so that's really cool. I just can't wait to dive into these spin-off series. I've heard really good things about them. A completion to a series here, we have volume 12 of Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, a very sweet, wholesome rom-com series that doesn't do anything special, but it does do everything right. A good cast of characters and a very simple story following a boy who is invisible and a girl that won't let him be invisible in class. And to wrap up Viz Media, we have 2 Shonen Jump manga, volume 34 of Black Clover, probably my favorite Shonen Jump series in my collection right now, and My Hero Academia volume 37. Of course, I looked at my collection. I don't have volume 36, so eventually I'm gonna have to pick that up somewhere. Moving on to some smaller publishers here. From Square Enix, we have volume 1 of Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. It's a very interesting slice of life story, highly rated on my anime list, but it follows this guy right here, a middle-aged office worker whose only solace is smoking behind the supermarket with the cashier, and they spark up a friendship, and it's basically about this developing relationship. Seems really interesting. The artwork looks simple, but it looks really clean, and I cannot wait to see what this manga has to offer. From TokyoPop, I finally finished one series, volume 5 of Laughing Under the Clouds, so that completes the 6-volume series for me. Eventually I'll get around to it, hoping to knock this out this year. From 7 Seas, we only have 3 volumes here. First up is volume 18 of A Certain Scientific Railgun. This is the newest volume in the series. I picked up 1 to 17 last month. I can't wait to dive into the Rail Deck series and this world. I've only heard good things, and I think I'm going to start with the manga. That seems to be the direction that many people are saying I should take first before the light novel. Next up is a series that is knocking on the door to my top 10, one of my favorite slice of life comedy series of all time. The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, volume 7. I absolutely love the cat character. I recommend the manga over the anime. I watched the first episode of the anime and I could not get into it at all. I just thought the comedy did not work well, and I think that the 4-koma aspect of this manga really works well for the type of comedy that this manga is trying to express. And last up here is Omnibus 4, so volumes 9 through 12 of Yokohama Kodashi Kiko, the deluxe edition. I absolutely love this contemplative slice of life post-apocalyptic series following the end of times where humans are starting to destroy their world, and it follows this robot Alpha as she kind of watches the world disappear around her. But it's really great. Lots of great things to think about in this manga. It is beautiful artwork, and I just love these editions so much. This is one everybody needs to have in their collection. This next section are all the indie manga that I picked up. I am starting to really dive into indie manga. I really want to expand that part of my collection, try out some new things. These first 2 volumes are from Bubble Zines. They are doing releases of very old manga, post-World War II manga that really put a staple into manga to come. This is before Osamu Tezuka. First up, we have Bat Kid by Inoue Kazuo. Bat Kid was serialized between 1947 and 1949, and it is the first shonen baseball manga out there, and it is really interesting. A very interesting release too. It's cool to see how all the chapters are compiled here, and then at the very end you get an art book and also an essay from the translator just about the history of Bat Kid, the history of putting this edition together. It's just really cool to see, and it's really cool to see what children's manga post World War II looked like, and it's cool that we actually have this in a physical format. And also from Bubble Zines, we have an oversized trim volume, Igaguri Young Judo Master. I'm gonna butcher this name. Fukui Echi is the mangaka. This was serialized between 1952 and 54 and marks the beginning of dynamic martial arts manga. This is cool because it's about judo. I have read a judo manga before, Naoki Urasawa's Yawara, which was really interesting. I think judo as a sport is really cool, so I cannot wait to dive into this manga and just see what this sports manga has to offer, and maybe some of the influences it provided manga in the future after this. Just so cool to have this in a physical format. From Floating World Comics, we have Suge Tadayo's Boat Life. This is a really interesting 2-volume manga. We only got volume 1 released in a physical format in English. This is a slice of life manga following the mangaka's own personal life, his daily day-to-day activities, going down on a houseboat in this river, and just the different people he meets and the different activities. Seems really interesting. I absolutely love this release. I think it is super high quality. I've never gotten anything from Floating World Comics, but I cannot wait to try this indie manga out, and I'll let you know what I think of it. This last volume is from Tuttle Books, a beautiful hardcover release, Haruki Murakami's Manga Stories. It's a short story collection of stories by master storyteller Murakami that are put into a graphic novel format. This does read left to right, and it's also in full color as well. This is a total cover buy. I know nothing of Murakami Sensei. I know nothing of these stories, but I saw this online on Instagram and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this up. Looks really cool. Love to see that I can find new things online that I just know nothing about that I'm intrigued by. Let's move on to the stuff from Yen Press. And as always, thanks so much to Yen Press, Callista, and the team for continuing to support this channel and sending me manga on their behalf so that I can show off on the channel and put some new things on y'all's radar. First off is something I actually bought myself. It is a one-shot hardcover, beautiful release, My Broken Mariko. It is a drama series following this girl who is trying to move on after the death of her friend. Seems really interesting, very introspective. I just can't wait to give this a shot. I've heard a lot of really good things about this one-shot manga. Next up here is volume 1 of a new series, I Want a Gal Gamer to Praise Me. You've got a gamer girl rom-com setting. I mean, what else are you not gonna like about it? Artwork looks super cute. It does look like a more ecchi series, so go with it with some warning, older teen rating, but of course it's got video games, so I love video games, so I can't wait to dive into this one. One of my favorite fantasy series and one of my favorite manga adaptations of a light novel, we have The Eminence in Shadow Volume 9. This continues to be great. I love this setting. I love our main character and how goofy he is. This is one you definitely need to check out if you're looking for a good fantasy series. Speaking of fantasy series, one of my favorite isekai of all time, Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, the manga adaptation Volume 2. I cannot wait to dive into this one. I thought Volume 1 was great. Volume 1 of the manga is basically a speed run of the light novel without all of the different explanations of the powers. It just gets straight to the action, which I like. It's just a great way to ingest this series in a quick manner. Cannot wait to dive into Volume 2. Here's Volume 3 of I Want to Be a Receptionist in This Magical World. I thought Volume 1 was just okay. I want to know more about being a receptionist in this magical world, and the story, at least how it started off, is definitely different than what I was hoping for, so we'll see how this world continues to develop in Volumes 2 and 3. One of my favorite seinen series being put out by Yen Press right now, we have Shadow's House Volume 6. I love this world. I love that you have these shadows that can't make any facial expressions, so they employ these living dolls who put these emotions for them. It's really dark and messed up. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in secret. I cannot wait to continue on with this manga. Here is a final volume of a series. We have The Essence of Being a Muse Volume 3. It's a coming of age thriller drama series following this girl who is starting her new life off, and she wants to be an artist, but there's a lot of messed up things going on in the background. So yes, one that I cannot wait to dive into. Just binge this 3-volume series. I really did enjoy Volume 1, so hopefully this wraps up well. Here's a Volume 1 that lots of people were talking about. This is called Adult Picture Book. It's a really interesting manga series. It follows this guy who ends up having to take in a 4-year-old girl who's the daughter of his late friend, and then to put a twist on it, he actually marries a total stranger as well. So I have no idea where this series is going, but I am definitely intrigued, and I heard that it is super cute and wholesome. Here's a manga adaptation of a light novel series, The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life. I love this artwork on the cover. It's really cool, and the artwork, of course, on the inside is super detailed. Yes, it is a light novel adaptation. It is a fantasy series. Looks interesting enough. I can't wait to try it. Here's Volume 2 of a series I know nothing about, Minato's Laundromat. All I've heard is that this is a boys love series, and a lot of people do enjoy this, so we'll see. Now that I have 2 volumes, a nice way to binge the series. Here's some light novels. First up, we have Volume 2 of Agents of the Four Seasons. This is by the same author who does Violet Evergarden, which is my favorite anime series of all time. So this is the light novel that is the highest priority on my list. One of these days, I'm just going to sit down and read both volumes back to back. This is going to happen very soon because I love Violet Evergarden. I cannot wait to see what her writing is actually about, considering we don't have Violet Evergarden in English. Here's a light novel that was on their list that I wanted to try. It's called Amalgam Hound Criminal Investigation Bureau Special Investigation Unit. It's got mystery, it's got mecha, it's got sci-fi. It screams everything I love about light novel series. So yes, this is one I definitely want to try. I really liked Your Forma. I love 86. So this kind of seems like a bridge between the two. So we'll see how this one goes. All right, here we go. This is it. Time to show off the Holy Grail. I never thought I'd ever get this in my collection. It's a beloved music manga. I picked this up on Reddit Manga Swap for a crazy price. I never ever thought that I would have this here, but it's here now, and it's volumes 1 to 15, almost complete in the physical English format of Nodame Cantabile. The series follows a boy who has dreams and aspirations of becoming a conductor, but he has a fear of flying, so he can't go around and go explore and travel the world and follow his dreams. As he sees his friends go off and do amazing things, he becomes discouraged. But alas, there is an orchestra starting at his school, and he has been counted on to conduct this orchestra. So it follows him as he's going through this journey with many of his classmates. I love these covers. It's so cool to see all the different instruments on here. Of course, as a band director, that really just touches my soul. But this is a beloved music manga, adored by many, and I can't wait to see what this series is about. I've only heard great things. Like I said, this is a 16-volume physical English series that got published by Del Rey. Del Rey went defunct, and then Kodansha picked up the rights to this series. They've continued to publish this series digitally in English, but they have not published this physically anymore once they took over the rights. It is what it is. I'm glad to have what I do have in the collection and be able to enjoy this series finally. And that is it for my manga haul for March 2024. A great month. Time to slow down, time to read a little bit. Now that work is finally calming down, I can finally get back to my true hobby, which is reading manga. As always, if you enjoy the content of my videos, make sure you hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.